us women are having an easier time to pull through this system of white supremacy than they are. Our Black families are constantly being ripped apart. They're constantly finding new ways for us Black women to get on the side of white supremacy and fighting our Black men. It's no wonder why their self-worth is hard to harvest and for them to be able to pull out. I feel that us women, we have a responsibility to try and help them to harvest forward their pride. And because once they step into a comfort of who they are and have that sense of pride, then they have fight in them and the ability to understand who they are and the king that they really are. Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the chocolatelot. I'm your host, Almaruthe, and if you were new, please go ahead and click that like, subscribe, and share button. Here on this show, we discuss events and concerns and issues to do with our Black community as well as possible resolves. And, I want to go in by saying that I am so happy, so excited. As many of you know, I graduated last week from Sacramento State University, officially with my Bachelor's of Social Work degree. So I am ecstatic that I get to begin my career path and start a new journey. So now going on to the topic at hand, I really want to talk to you all today about self-worth. Self-worth. Especially pertaining to our Black men. I noticed that, through my observation, research, as well as just my experience, a lot of our Black women are persevering through college more so than our Black men. A lot of our Black men have a lack of mentorship by other Black men who are doing, who are on good footing or just present in their lives. And, touching on presence, there's a lot of generational cycling going on where many Black men who are fathering children are not being present and empowering their children just like their father before them. And this is something we all know as a people we need to really focus on healing. How can we pull out our self-worth? I feel that working on self-worth, especially for our men, starts with understanding who you are, understanding your roots, where you come from. I encourage our men to go talk to your mom, go talk to your father, whether he's present or not. Go talk to your aunties, cousins, brothers. Go talk to your grandparents, your great-grandparents. Find out what heritage they were a part of. What were their practices? What were their beliefs? What things do they believe to be true? Because as we know, this system, and it's no wonder why our men have a tough time in understanding their self-worth, because this system is designed to keep us oppressed, especially our men. They have it the hardest, just like we talked about on the last show. They have it the hardest. They're constantly attacked by the police and targeted. They are constantly having policies written to keep them further down than us. As women are having an easier time to pull through the system of white supremacy than they are. And our Black families are constantly being ripped apart. They're constantly finding new ways for us Black women to get on the side of white supremacy and fighting our Black men. So it's no wonder why their self-worth is hard to harvest and for them to be able to pull out. A lot of times I really feel that it has to do with their pride, being crushed. I feel that us women, we have a responsibility to try and help them to harvest forward their pride. And because once they step into a comfort of who they are and have that sense of pride, then they have fight in them and the ability to understand who they are and the king that they really are. A lot of times, us women, we forget that our men internalize more than we do. We're very vocal about our pain. We're quick to tell them about themselves, but our men, they internalize it all and they don't really talk. And so we could do, better with encouraging them to be a shoulder for them to lean on, be someone that they can confide their concerns with. I want to say that our men, I'm seeing that you guys are becoming very comfortable with being beta males. I still believe it has a lot to do with you understanding your worth, but us women, as we push and we strive to become alpha females, I encourage you to become alpha males, to strive to become better. Where there is challenge, I encourage you to embrace it, to open your arms, to not resist. I know from experience, in dating in the past, I've always preferred Black men. And a lot of times I would come across men who consider themselves beta males, and they were very comfortable with where they were at. They weren't trying to grow. Anytime I would try to encourage them, again, providing them with challenges to grow, like goal planning and such, they would become very resistant. They would say, "Oh, you've outgrown me," or they would shut down. And it's very disappointing because, us women, we look at you guys and we say, we want to be that ride or die chick for you. We want to make it alongside you. And typically and us women are having a hard time to cling on to hope that our man, even if they choose to become, the alpha males that they are meant to be, we're having a hard time clinging on to the hope that they will stay by our side. And, once they become that alpha status, we often too see that they jump ship, that they leave us for another alpha woman, but of a different skin tone, a different color. And I mean, personally, growing up in the foster care system, I was a ward of the court, and so I had guardianship parents. They were married. They did eventually get a divorce, but my mom, who is the alpha female, she was a registered nurse. She helped mold her man into an alpha male who also became a registered nurse. And what happened? As soon as he met that alpha status, he bounced. He zipped. You see that with Prison Bae, ride or die chick, and then what happens? They rise to fame, he dips. We want to be that Beyonce and Jay-Z. We want to be a ride or die chick for a Jay-Z. And I think it has a lot to do with, because I've been reading Zoe Williams' book, The Holographic Relationship. And within his book, he talks about how you can't find a dream partner until you become the dream partner that you're hoping to attain. And what that means to me is, we need to be working on ourselves to attain the partner we envision. But the question here is, who do you envision to attain? Black men, are you envisioning a Black woman to attain? Or are you envisioning a white woman to attain? Because if you guys are envisioning a white woman, then that explains why us Black women are seeing you guys jump ship as soon as you meet that alpha status alongside your alpha woman, Black woman. And us Black women, we are down to embrace the struggle with you guys, but are you guys, in it for the long haul? Or are you just in it temporarily? You just want us to fix you and then you dip. So I encourage both women and men, because there's a lot of women out there who envision a white man on a yacht with a bag of money. So I envision both of us, each of us, to envision a Black man as our partner, in the long haul, as our dream partner. So that way, we can stay by each other's side and truly last to the test of time. Um, you know, in and also I want to kind of dive into a current event topic, and that event topic has to do with Robert F. Smith, who just pledged to pay Morehouse, the graduating class of Morehouse 2019. He pledged to pay their tuition. And in consulting with my peers, I'm ecstatic about it. I'm like, shoot, is there a Sacramento billionaire that could pay off my debt? I just graduated 2019. But I think it's phenomenal what he did. A lot of people are torn between whether he utilized his influence and money for the right reasonings. And what I mean by that is individuals like myself are very ecstatic about it because it gives these men, opportunity to build wealth and an opportunity to have a burden removed. We all know that Black people undergo 10 times as much burden than any other ethnicity out there. So when you have that burden removed, guess what? You have the energy and strength to go out there and pursue your dreams, to go out there and attain what you have your heart and mindset on. You don't get distracted by the burden of debt. A lot of times people will pass up opportunity just so they can make that financial aid payment. So this is a burden that really allows for them to have a fair start in life, just like the other ethnicities that graduate from college debt-free and get straight into work and get straight into building and attaining a home and all these things that we always dream of, whether it's a white man's dream or not. So, but then you have on the flip individuals who look at it and say, well, HBCU degrees are not as competitive with, UC and CSUS degrees of the system, because of the labor force and the job market don't see it as such. And, even though we all know that HBCU students are extremely hard workers, and not only are they hard workers, but they are very intelligent. And so a lot of people are wondering, should Robert Smith have given them, use his money influence to provide job opportunities for them? And me personally, I feel that what he did was the best he can do at this point in time. Why? Because change is gradual. Our community is still healing. We still have a lot of fixing to do and healing to do before we can expect quick results like that. As much as we like to see quick change, we know that whenever just like in the last episode, people see us as better individually separate than they do together, because we are stronger when we are together. When you see Black men gather on the corner, what's the first thing that happens? You see a large police presence take place. So this is the first step. It's going to be gradual, but it's change in the making. I wish, because again, we don't have as many brothers like Robert Smith stepping up and doing what he did. We don't have as many. If we had more, then we can say, okay, let's start making some quick changes happening. But unfortunately, we don't have too many alpha males out there delivering. And what do I consider an alpha male? I consider an alpha male a man who has self-confidence, a man who is spiritually in tune, who is aware of his identity, somebody who is not afraid to protect and does not cower in fear. I look at a alpha male as someone that knows how to establish order when there is chaos. So, these are the brothers that will become the alpha male, that will have the opportunity to be able to do that. And I'm sure they will see themselves as worthy and rise up to the challenge. We are amazing when we believe in ourselves. It starts right here with our inner person. Us women, we have the potential to be queens. Us men, you men have the potential to be kings. And I encourage each of us to support each other, to listen to each other in our concerns, not go to screaming at one another and dishing out woe is me's, but rather be about providing solutions and be about implementing change. I want to leave you all with those gems. And again, thank you for tuning in to the Chocolatelot. I'm your host, Almaruthe. Peace. Until we meet next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace, peace.